Why do you care so much? About opinions, approval, status, things that won't matter a year from now, maybe not even tomorrow. The truth is, most of your anxiety, fear, and mental exhaustion doesn't come from your environment. It comes from caring too much about the wrong things. But this isn't new. 2,000 years ago, Roman emperors, samurai warriors, Buddhist monks, and Eastern sages faced the same inner war. And they learned something most modern men have forgotten. Freedom isn't found by caring more, it's found by caring less, but deeper. Let's explore the ancient art of not caring through 6 powerful principles from history's greatest minds. 1. Focus only on what you can control. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. That's what Epictetus said. Epictetus was born a slave. He owned nothing, not even his freedom. Yet he taught a philosophy that rivaled kings. The true battlefield is internal. Imagine being beaten, insulted, ignored, and yet remaining calm, unmoved. Because you've trained your mind to only concern itself with what's yours, your character, your response, your reason. Today we waste our energy chasing things we can't hold, likes, attention, validation. We let strangers online rent space in our minds. Epictetus didn't tell you not to care. He told you to choose what deserves your care. You can't control the storm, but you can train your mind to be the calm in the middle of it. 2. Accept mortality to overcome fear. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. That's from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of the most powerful empire on earth, but every day he reminded himself, I will die, so I must live rightly. The modern world teaches us to fear discomfort, risk, failure. But Marcus feared something worse, a wasted life. The Stoics used a practice called memento mori, remember you will die. Not to be morbid, but to sharpen the blade of attention, to remind themselves this day, this hour, it's all we really own. What are you holding back because you're afraid? What dream are you delaying because you're worried what others will say? If you knew you had a year left to live, what would you stop caring about immediately? Now, live like that. 3. Detach from the crowd. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. That's what Nietzsche said. Nietzsche didn't fit in. He never tried. And he believed that true greatness demands separation from the herd. The crowd wants you average, predictable. It wants you to care about what they care about, and nothing deeper. But history's strongest minds were forged in solitude. Miyamoto Musashi, the undefeated samurai swordsman, spent the last years of his life alone in a cave, meditating, painting, reflecting. He knew that external noise is the enemy of inner clarity. Today, we are more connected than ever, but most men have never been more lost. When you detach from the crowd, even briefly, you start to hear your own voice again. And that voice, it's usually wiser than you think. 4. Never explain. Your friends do not need it and your enemies will not believe it. That's what Elbert Hubbard said. And you know, Napoleon Bonaparte echoed something pretty similar. We live in the age of over-explaining, don't we? You post something, you say something, and suddenly you feel the urge to clarify, soften, or apologize. But the strongest men in history didn't waste time defending their choices to people who didn't matter. When Alexander the Great was asked why he risked everything to conquer the known world, he didn't write an essay. He simply acted. And his results, not his reasons, are what history remembers. You don't need to explain your goals. You don't need to justify your standards. You don't need to beg for understanding. Let your life be your explanation. 5. You will not be punished for your anger, but you will be punished by your anger. That's what the Buddha taught. He understood that most of our suffering is self-inflicted. It's not what happens, it's how we react to what happens. The Spartans trained for this. They taught their boys in the Agoge to suffer without complaint, to endure cold, pain, hunger without breaking. Because a warrior who can't master his emotions is vulnerable to manipulation, to distraction, to defeat. Modern society, honestly, it rewards outrage, victimhood, and emotional outbursts. But ancient wisdom says, stay calm, observe, choose your reaction with discipline, react less, reflect more. This is how you stop giving your peace away. 6. Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Viktor Frankl said that. Frankl survived the Nazi concentration camps where everything, family, freedom, dignity, was stripped away. What kept him alive? A mission, a reason, a why. Purpose is the ultimate filter. It teaches you what deserves your energy and what doesn't. If you're guided by meaning, you don't need to care about every insult, inconvenience, or obstacle. You move forward because you must, not because it's easy. Sun Tzu wrote, "He will win who has prepared himself and waits to take the enemy unprepared." The calmest warrior is the most dangerous, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares only about victory, not distractions. This isn't about apathy, it's not about ignoring life, it is about filtering life. You should care deeply, but selectively. That's the art of not caring. Focus on what you control, accept death. Detach from the crowd, stop explaining. Master emotion, live for purpose. History's greatest men weren't empty, they were precise. And in a world that demands your attention at every turn, your peace will depend on how well you can say, "That doesn't deserve my care."